So the G7 summit started today, and oh my God, was it full of a ton of stuff. So buckle up, this is going to be a bit of a long video. So the event started off by all of the leaders coming out. There was this beautiful area that they had set up with like a sign in the background for the G7 summit. Each world leader was announced. They came out, they took pictures with Carney and his wife. At what point Donald Trump came out, and nobody could hear what he was saying. Like, there was conversation, but with the water feature, it was pretty much all you could hear over the mics. But apparently Donald Trump was complaining about his military parade to Carney. I cannot confirm that because I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I have heard other people reporting that. Eventually there was a press conference, which of course Donald Trump dominated because he does have to be the center of attention. At which one point he decided to talk about how it used to be the G8 and how Russia was a part of it, before Barack Obama and a guy named Trudeau decided to kick Russia out. Yeah, a guy named Trudeau. Sir, that guy named Trudeau is former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Thank you very much. But then again, I guess a guy named Trudeau is an upgrade from Governor Trudeau at this point. But also, he wasn't the Prime Minister at the time. Stephen Harper was. So it was Stephen Harper that agreed with other G8 leaders, including David Cameron, who was the Prime Minister of the UK at the time. They all agreed to remove Russia. So you can't blame it on Trudeau because he wasn't there yet, and you can't blame it just on Barack Obama because he wasn't the only one who made the decision. Trump also made sure that everybody knew that Putin only speaks to him because nobody else wants to negotiate. You know, he refuses to talk to anybody else. Only Trump is the one that he's willing to talk to. What an utter embarrassment. What a confused, demented old man. But are we surprised at this point? Later on, he had a moment with the Prime Minister of the UK, in which he held up a book and proceeded to drop all of the papers on the ground, pretty much acting like he didn't even know what he was holding in his hand. The Prime Minister did end up picking up the papers, helping him because obviously, an elderly man needs help at these times. There was also a moment in the press conference that Donald Trump decided that he was going to babble on about how the blue states he was going to send ICE after them and ramp up because Barack Obama had brought in millions of criminals and undocumented immigrants, and he was not going to allow them to be used to vote him out. First of all, you will not be the guy that's supposed to be running in the next election because you only get 2 terms, sir. Second of all, criminals and undocumented immigrants cannot vote in the United States. Yeah. So, again, demented old man. Macron and the leader from Italy shared a little bit of a side-eyed moment in regards to something that was going on with Trump, I believe. That was quite cute. Really kind of encapsulated the entire moment, I think, for all of us that were watching Trump just babble on like a crazy person. Now, an official announcement has come out of the Prime Minister's office for Canada, claiming that they have an agreement to come to an agreement by July in terms of the tariffs in Canada. So they have an agreement to come to an agreement within the next 30 days for a trade agreement. I guess it's something. Now, originally they were supposed to, after their meeting today, get together and have another 30-minute meeting later on. But unfortunately, Donald Trump has said that he now has to leave the G7 summit because of an emergency back in Washington. And we have now found out that in that emergency, it has to do, I believe, with the war between Israel and Iran, because he has asked that his National Security Council be ready for him when he gets back. So while we watch Donald Trump show that he is a demented, complete fool today, we are also reminded that this man has the codes for nuclear weapons and was supposed to be the thing that keeps other countries from overstepping. But at this point, we know Israel does not care, because we know that Donald Trump told Israel that he was not going to allow them to assassinate the leader of Iran, and they said it was still on the table. Nobody is afraid of Donald Trump anymore. We should be, because again, this is a man that obviously has dementia or Alzheimer's, and he has the nuclear codes. But at the same time, the rest of the world does not respect him. And this is not good. Already there are word that troops are being moved overseas to the Middle East already, that people are being deployed. So buckle up, babies. I don't think this is going to end up being good news in the long run. So this has been a hell of a day. On the one hand, the craziness that usually surrounds Trump, the fact that he is just a bumbling old fool, but at the same time, it is very scary times to live in based on this new information that has come out in the last about hour or so. So